In this kapitel, it talks about the greatness of God, how it reveals itself in this physical world. Mizmor David, a song of David. Havul Hashem, give praise to God, Ne'elim, the sons of the powerful. Commentaries explain that the powerful refers to our patriarchs, Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, and when we pray, we're supposed to mention them in the Shemoneh Esrei. Havul Hashem, give to God kavod v'oz, his honor and might, meaning to say, relate about God's honor and might. Havul Hashem, give to God kvod shemoi, the honor due for his name, which means you must honor and glorify God's name. Hishtachvul Hashem, prostrate yourself before God, b'hadras kodesh, in the splendor of holiness. Now it goes on to elaborate on God's honor, how we see it in this world. Hail Hashem, the voice of God, alamoyim, is on the water, which we clearly saw how when the Red Sea parted, that God's voice was on the water. Ela kavod hirim, the God of glory, thunders. Hashem, God, almayim rabim, on the vast waters. Hail Hashem b'koyach, the voice of God is strength. Hail Hashem b'hodr, the voice of God is splendor. Hail Hashem, the voice of God, Sheva Razim, breaks cedars, which is a very high tree, a very powerful tree. Vashaber Hashem is Arzei HaLevanin, and God breaks the cedars of Levanin, which Levanin is the forest in the land of Israel. And he makes these forests dance like a calf. Levanin v'Siryin, this refers to mountains, different mountains in the land of Israel. Re'imim is going to dance like Ve'reimim is like a certain type of animal, Re'im. This refers to the mighty kings, which are going to be bounced around like a Re'im. Kol Hashem, the voice of God, Choitziv Laves Ish, it cleaves like flames of fire, which means that the voice of God at the time of Sinai, when God spoke over there, his words, his commandments came out like a flame. The words came out like a flame. And these words of fire went into the tablets and became engraved in stone. Kol Hashem, the voice of God, Yachol Midbar, convulses the wilderness, the desert. Kol Hashem, Yachol Hashem, Midbar Kodesh. God would convulse the desert of Kodesh, the name of a desert. Kol Hashem, the voice of God, Yichaylu Ayolis, frightens the hinds. That means when a hind wants to give birth and it's difficult because the womb is too narrow, a thunder suddenly comes and makes the hind be able to give birth. Vayachsef Yaris, and the voice of God strips bare the forests. Uvechalei, and in his temple in Jerusalem or in the upper worlds, Kulei Eimer Kavod, everyone says glory, because in his temple everyone could see God's glory. Hashem Lamabel Yashav, God at the time of the great flood, he sat enthroned. Vayeshev Hashem Melech Laolam, and God is always going to sit enthroned forever, despite the fact that in the world there was a flood and there was a lot of damage, but he's not affected by that. At the end of times, the time of the Messiah, the Messianic era, Hashem Oiz, God will give strength, La'ama Yitin will give it to his nation. even though people who didn't serve God are going to vanish. And Hashem Yivarach, God will bless His Ame, His nation, Vashalim, in peace. For in the Messianic era, there's not going to be any wars, there's only going to be an era of only peace.